Guys, don't adjust your set. That's right, there's two of us here, and no, it is not cHuL1x or Mr. Ramen. It's Emperur here, joined by the fabulous, the wonderful,
me
person who likes to interrupt other people when they're talking.
Listen here, it's called the takeover.
Okay, yes, this is the takeover. This is episode 9 of Riot and Chill. And I'm not gonna lie, we were setting things up about 15 minutes ago, and everything just went to hell. And now it's just the two of us. So a little bit longer than the episode 8. I know last week there was internet problems as well. cHuL1x did a video for like a quick little upload for episode 8. So now we continue the bad luck. Wait, it's the good luck now. It's the good luck episode. This is the episode that's everyone's gonna look back. Are you muted? Are you muted? Because I can't hear you.
Why?
Yeah, so today's episode is basically what every other week's episode is. We talk about what happened last week and what's happening this week. And then, except we're not going to have really too much banter because we're not playing each other.
Not this week.
Yeah, like we're both already locked in for playoffs. The one who has a lot of shit to talk just unfortunately cannot be in the call right now, so
well, too bad, so sad. At least this video would actually get some views now. Okay?
Oh, that's cold. But I mean, anything can happen though.
I mean, but it's the truth.
All right, so moving on, we're gonna take a look at what happened last week. So I am actually gonna put the graphic over us because I don't want to do it because we're just two wonderful individuals. But I took on Mr. Fish. Trent took on Butt Stuffs. And our rivalry of the week, Vicky, you versus Tyler. And it's funny because it shows that it was a 2-point win, but I feel like it was like a 102-point win.
Jesus.
Absolutely. You see, the real reason why Tyler's not... Okay, you know what? I have to be honest. Tyler is not here today. It's not because of internet troubles. It's because of absolutely how dominated he was last week. How absolutely driven into the ground. His very manhood was taken away.
I'm sorry.
Well, with these changes, it's funny because now Tyler is rolling with... he has lost now. He picked up Pride Stalker dropped Jose Diodo, and then he's scrambling for that playoff spot. So a day later, he drops Pride Stalker and picks up Jose Diodo again.
Yes.
So we'll have to see if it's going to be a redemption arc. You watch Jose Diodo just falls apart, and then Pride Stalker just has like the absolute time of his life.
And I want to add into something like just recently, the person, Mr. Fish, who I'm going against this week, he just picked up Pride Stalker. And I was just cracking up so hard because he did a couple of roster changes to his team. He changed his top laner, which was Fake God. Now he has Impact, which honestly, Impact, I did the biggest no-no. I actually dropped Impact and he had a marvelous week. And yeah, I almost tanked it really bad, but I did win. And then he changed his jungler, he changed his top laner, and he also changed his mid laner. So he had Jojo Primo, but now he has Blue from Dignitas. And that's going to be pretty interesting because Blue's been actually consistent. And I'm actually pretty nervous about this because I played Mr. Fish the first week, and it was kind of like back and forth, like dominance of who's first. And thank God that I came out first, but it was actually really close. Like I actually thought I was gonna lose the first week, and now I'm like, what, third place now?
Yeah, locked into a playoff spot. And it's funny because it's like you look at the teams in week one and how the teams are so different coming in, because now how the round, since we have only 6 people, you play everybody once, but then on the last week of the regular season you play the first person again, which unfortunately I drew Trent for week one, and his team is filthy. But it's interesting to see the week 1 rosters and then now the week 6 rosters. You know, I feel like almost everybody made a swap at some point, unless you're Trent. But I mean, undefeated. Let's give him his props. 5-0. His team is disgusting.
His team was disgusting. Like, even the week that I went against him, I had a pretty bad week. But
Same.
We also had a game server issue, so I felt like that was a big contribution to why FlyQuest didn't do well, because instead of being prepared for one team on that day, now they had to be prepared for both teams, and I guess it was just a little bit too much for them to handle right now. I mean, they're doing great, but there's still certain aspects to what they need to train a little bit more, and I feel like having that day, like 1 game per day type of thing, kind of did mess them up, where instead of 1 game is 2. And yeah, I kind of literally tanked it against Trent, which ended up him being undefeated again for another week.
Yeah,
which I was so mad.
That's the thing with teams. You know, you're kind of, you have your schedule throughout the week. You have your scrim times, your practice times. You're focusing on the team you play first, but yes, you of course have to focus on the team you're playing the very next day. And then if it's a super week, you have to focus on the team you're playing Sunday. So in that unfortunate case, it was super week.
Yeah, it was.
So
was super weak for Evil Geniuses and FlyQuest. Like, that was super weak for them.
With FlyQuest dropping to EG in game 1, or like in their first game, that was kind of like a tilter, because I believe they played the very next game too. Like they played, and Evil Geniuses was lucky enough to
get a break in between.
To get a game break. So FlyQuest kind of got the very, very raw end of the deal. But like when you're practicing for that, like there is no way to practice for a game-breaking bug that forces you to reschedule. There's just no way to simulate that kind of practice. And the fact that it happened to them was very unfortunate. And last week, they bounced back a bit after they got a week to reset and everything. But yeah, that's a very unfortunate time. Like, of course, for us who have their team as fantasy, but also for the players themselves, where the end of the year seeding, playoff positioning could all come down to not being able to rebound on a game-breaking bug.
True.
Which that's horrible to say, though.
It's really bad, but it ended up happening, and it ended up happening. It is what it is. But I think me and you had like a very horrible game one time. I think when we were going against each other, it was the C9 game, and you had Winsome, right? No,
what
did you
I
have?
had Winsome. Yep.
And then I had Blabber. And it was just, we started both of us off as negative. Like, it was insanely hilarious, but I was just like, damn, like, how do we start a match negative in points already?
And it's funny because it's like a lot of the teams, like not just like us, but like everybody except Trent, it seems, we have a very, very bad first day. But it's very cool to see like how many times somebody was down on Saturday, but then after the end of Sunday they blew them out of the water. It's like you start super slow, but it's not just a coincidence, because it seems to happen to everybody, and it's such a reoccurring theme. It's kind of nuts, but I mean, it's the last week. Who knows? We don't know what could happen.
For sure. I mean,
especially for Trent's team right now, because Trent has both C9 and TL players. Well, they happen to play each other this weekend. So something's got to give somewhere. We'll have to see. But that's not really much of an issue for Trent right now, considering Trent has already locked in the number 1 seed, which means for the playoffs he will end up playing against the number 4 seed, which could either be Tyler, Fish, or Butt Stuff.
Oh my god.
That means next week, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, we have a playoff match.
The battle of the fourth.
No. We have 2-3 because you're locked in third place.
That's right.
The worst you can do is third place. So that means 2 plays 3, 1 plays 4. So whoever sneaks into that last playoff spot, it's very simple for Tyler. Tyler wins, he's in.
Mm-hmm.
If Tyler loses,
he's out.
He's out. Yeah, because he's playing against, I believe he's playing against the Stuffs.
Yeah.
I don't want to call him by his, is he playing against Stuffs?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, because I'm playing against Mr. Fish.
Okay, yeah. So he would end up being the winner of that would be 2 and 4, which would give them actually I believe if I remember correctly, Tyler wins, he's in. If Tyler loses, he's out. And then for the 2 randoms,
don't they play in the toilet bowl?
Well, maybe not, because how the tiebreaker is set is based on points. So the only scenarios is Tyler wins, he's in. Tyler loses, and you win. I do believe it is Fish that will make it due to tiebreaker or due to points.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's funny that it's the very last week and not a single person's eliminated. It's just like, here's Trent, here's me, here's you, everybody else. So it's gonna be a pretty tense weekend because literally for some you'll lose, you're out. But somebody has to win, and that's the beauty of sports. I know you're a big sports fan. I'm a big sports fan. You get these super matches.
Yeah.
Like whether it be like football or whatever sport, like you get these dream matches like, oh, this is great, but it sucks because there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. You see, this is like a dream match of mediocrity.
Well said. Yes.
Who's gonna limp into the playoffs to have to play Trent first round?
Jesus.
Here's your participation trophy. Now Trent's gonna beat you over the head with it. Okay, I feel like we're staying on the Trent hype train for too long. That head's gonna explode.
I think we need to get off. We need to bash him a little bit.
So what's so we can change the topic real quick. This is actually pretty interesting. Do you know what I miss most about professional League of Legends?
What is that?
I miss the crowd.
I feel the ambiance of just the crowd being, like, in general, like for all sports, just having the crowd there brings a little bit more of hype and like fun to the arena, and a little bit more morale boosting for the teams. Like, it's kind of funny how like somebody in the background, while like whoever's commentating that night, like they'll have like the Dignitas sign up, like right behind them. It's kind of like
Dignitas fan.
the one crew member like just throws up the sign. But also like I miss that whole like craziness of like knowing what team you're gonna root for, and like right across from you is like another person that's rooting for the opposite team, and like you just have like a stare down, and you're just like antagonizing them.
It's funny that I brought that up and that you gave me the answer that I exactly wanted, because April 2nd is the beginning of the LCS playoffs for the spring season, and they just so happen to be letting fans back in the arena. I read about this earlier, and I wanted to tell you guys so bad, but I wanted to keep it a secret because I wanted podcast reactions, because that's content. But yes, we will be getting fans back for the spring playoffs. And that's going to be interesting because a lot of these young players, a lot of these rookies, all they know is either Team House or Empty Stage.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. It's, because due to the whole COVID issue, like everybody just had to sit in solidarity and like just stay by themselves and all that stuff. And like also like some of the teams had separate rooms for each other, so it's not like they sat next to their teammate. They were in a separate room talking to them through a mic. But getting these rookies to now get that experience of the ambiance of having a crowd behind them, I'm really interested in how they're going to react. Either they get like a little bit nervous or they actually like perk up and like start feeling that adrenaline rush, like how every athlete has.
It's like I like how you pointed it out with every athlete, because it's like everybody who does anything in front of a crowd gets an adrenaline rush. One way or another. Like either yes, it's gonna like you're gonna get anxiety with the adrenaline rush. Some are gonna thrive through it. So it's gonna be the same thing. As like, are we gonna see these rookies choke, or are we gonna see these rookies kind of, evolve
to the occasion.
become the next like superstar? And I think a lot of these teams that have veterans, you look at Evil Geniuses, you have Impact Season 3 World Champion has been to the show of shows with LCS, or with League of Legends in general. You have Vulcan, who has had international tournaments. You do have Inspired, who's very young, although Inspired has made worlds.
Fromu,
Afro, you have people like Afromu on FlyQuest. Afromu was a 2016 MSI finalist. So same with cHuL1x when cHuL1x was a mid laner. But I think these veterans who people are like, oh, why are they still here? They're just gatekeeping. You're just keeping them around because you ain't got talent. I feel like that could be very beneficial for once the fans come back, because you're not going to have no test run.
Oh,
the fans are going to show up and you're going to be playing in front of them. So it's going to be, face your fears, or you're going to get kicked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's like you're going to have to take the like how I'm supposed to, I'm like thinking how to say this, like this time, like in an athlete's perspective, just because I am an athlete, there is no amount of training where you're faced with a whole crowd around you just watching you.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly just practicing with your coach and your team. That's it. So to be prepared for these types of environmental factors, there's no training. It's either, as you said, you make it or break it. That is all. And if you make it, hey, kudos to you. But if you break it, get ready for that crowd to be booing. Like, and that's one thing also. Like, I think it's just in general for like every sport and also League of Legends. Like, we can be toxic. We can be a toxic crowd.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's if you fumble a ball in football, you're gonna hear the whole stadium go after you. And then you're gonna hear Twitter and everything like that. But that's the same thing with League of Legends. Like, you mess up a play and you lose the game because of this one play you decided to go all in when you're not supposed to, you're gonna hear it everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Reddit, Twitter, everywhere around you.
Doublelift dying to Raptors on Jhin. People who didn't even watch the game heard about it that day, or Doublelift, flashing forward into Crown's victor at Worlds. These are, no matter how many good things somebody does, like Doublelift, winning the most LCS championships than anybody in history, saving Team Liquid from relegations to bringing them to a 4-time championship team. Nope. We all remember getting executed at Raptors and flashing forward into a victor. That's it. Or not using the flash at all. So Doublelift.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot of these rookies, as you were saying, because now people are going to be there, people are going to see it, and of course with this age of social media and everything somebody does is commented on. And if we're bringing back fans, this is just another one of those hurdles for these young players to get over. Or let's say Jojo Kyun, he is in front of the crowd, he gets his face off, he's probably going to get dropped. Because it's going to be possibly a reoccurring theme, like, oh, he's just not meant for stage. Because a lot of the players who actually have been around for a little bit, do terrible in front of crowds. but ever since they got brought back to that isolated setting, they've absolutely popped off.
Yeah.
And have played incredibly. So I don't know.
But that just had to be due just, for the whole COVID and like lockdown issues. I mean, that's when all these rookies, they're just focused on only the game. That's all they had to do was just focus on the game. So, it's gonna be a really big game changer when that does happen. So pretty excited about seeing these make it or break it moments, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a hell of a time. But we're gonna bounce it back to LCS talk. We're gonna cover up the faces again, just so we can take a look at the current standings for the LCS. We have Team Liquid and Cloud9 tied for first place right now at 9-2. FlyQuest coming in at 7-4. 100 Thieves at 6-5 in fourth place. Evil Geniuses, Dignitas, and Golden Guardians at 5-6. Immortals at 4-7. Counter Logic Gaming 3-8. And at the very, very bottom of the table, the very bottom,
like under the mat, under everything, completely dead. He's already dead meme, TSM. Which are there any surprises with TSM, do you think? I think for TSM, I kind of, being a old fan of TSM a long time ago.
What are you doing?
Long time ago. I actually kind of thought they would probably do a little better. There was no surprises. I kind of felt like I didn't think they would be all the way under the mat, under the ground and everything, under the foundation in general.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would be that bad under there. I thought maybe like 7th, 8th, maybe
not 10th.
But 10 was kind of like, what's going on, guys? Like, what direction are we going? Because everybody is splitting off. Like, we don't know what's going on at this point. So, yeah, I kind of like I'm not shocked, but I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, because it's like, we all know that there's times where TSM, they start the year very shaky, and then they just, as the year goes on, or as the split goes on, they just figure it out, and they claw their way up through playoffs and whatnot. I don't think, over halfway into the split, TSM 2-9.
Yeah, they would just tank it. So
like dead last. Like this isn't like a tie.
No, this is official last place. Like,
yeah, and same with our academy team too. So it's like, it's not a coincidence that TSM, one of the most storied organizations in LCS history, the team that has won the most LCS trophies, is tanking in LCS and academy. It has to be something internally. There's no way it's just.
It can't.
Them being last in both leagues is just. There's no way that's coincidence.
Yeah, as I said, like it's the whole organization. Like, one person splitting this way, one person splitting. Like, there's no one clear direction for them to go. It's everybody like just going in different directions. Whatever it is internally, it's not like they need to honestly, just like in football, they need to rebuild, train, and hopefully they can come back somehow. That's the only thing I say.
Somehow,
new coaching, somehow. Like, I think there's just a lot of things that they really do need to fix. So somehow they're gonna need to figure out what it is. So
yeah, like there's no magic button to push to be like, hey, all right, we're gonna turn this season around. I'm pushing that button now. Like, we've sandbagged long enough. Like, this isn't TFT. Sandbagging is not going to help you out in the long run. So I mean, hey. Speaking of TFT, how are you liking the new set?
I actually
touch on that real fast.
I think it's really great. I honestly enjoy it. I've been playing it a lot more than Summoner's Rift right now. Just because I've been on a bad loot. Well, recently I got back on. I did have like a good win recently. I did get promoted to Bronze 3.
Hey,
after being in Bronze 4 for so long. I did get promoted to Bronze 3. That slow pull up to the top.
You're getting there.
But in TFT, I'm actually rapidly going up. I think I'm in Bronze 3 or Bronze 2. But I've been finding it more enjoyable to play TFT right now just because I like the set. My current favorite set to build is Challengers and Debonaires. Like, those two in general, like, I enjoy it the most.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think with the last set, to me, okay, everybody knows, and I've said this every time TFT has been brought up, the fact that Lux, the Academy and the Arcanist buffs with Lux were unstoppable. And I know I streamed TFT, and there's that wonderful clip of me complaining that a tank Lux one-shot my whole team. Not even a damage item on her, not even a level 2, just a level 1 Lux with, I think it was like Bramble Vest and Locket in the back row, one-shot my team. And the fact that she's out of the game, I love it. But yeah, like Challengers feel very, very good right now. I think especially with the addition of Tryndamere.
That
Tryndamere can hard carry your team. But he's also like super squishy too, like because you don't build him really tanky.
You gotta listen to this build I did recently, and actually one on a rank. I decided to be a little ballsy, and I built Sunfire, Locket of Solaire, and Warmogs.
Oh, that sounds like an alt account build. This is something you try in your alt.
That Tryndamere did not die. It took a couple hits for the person to die, but that Tryndamere did not die. I'm gonna tell you that. And he just kept smacking, okay? Until everybody was dead. It took a while. Even the timer went by.
If you want to see something great, get a Scholar buff and get Jeweled Gauntlet, blue buff, and Seraphs. On Tryndamere, it is the funniest thing. It's just spin, 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 spin. It's literally like he'll spin, auto, spin, auto, spin, auto. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I've seen it's nothing if you want to do it competitively. It's just if you want to see some funny meme stuff. But
I think I'm gonna do that.
it's so funny. It's one of those builds that like I've only played it on the alt. The main is cursed. I cannot get anything other than second place. I'm only in 4 of my placements, and I got second place every game with 4 different comps, and it's just it's been a struggle. But yeah, I think the whole, and they had that hot fix, that like mini patch update where they ended up nerfing a lot of the damage.
Yeah,
which is really good because it makes a lot more of the comps viable, which I think that's what made set 6 very good, was the fact that there was no like, if you only build assassins you win, like how the previous sets have been.
Oh my god, I hated that thing so much.
Yeah, like you can play other comps and they feel good into most other comps. I say most other comps because Yordles still exist, and Yordles are filthy right now.
Yordles are disgusting. Super.
Yeah, I don't like
disgusting.
playing against Yordles, so if you're in either one of our games, please don't play Yordles. Thank you. So, anything else you want to touch on with that before we hop into the games for this weekend?
No, not really. I mean, no, I'm pretty good.
We hit the nail
actually,
on the head.
We did, but I actually with the whole like ranking for Summoner's Rift, I've actually been watching a couple of videos of pro guides.
Pro Guide's a fantastic service. I love it. I don't pay for it, obviously, but
I just watch the videos on YouTube. That's all. I mean, I just watch the ones that are related to ADC or support or mid, honestly.
Shout out to the guy who voices Ezreal who does those.
But yeah, so I've kind of been like taking little notes here and there, and I feel like I'm more comfortable CSing now. Like that's one thing about me, guys. Like I can't CS to save my life. In 20 minutes, I'll probably only have 55 CS, and
yeah,
everybody
12
starts
kills, right?
No, not even. Probably like 4. And those are mostly KSs.
But
like
you're KSing a Pike.
I mean, it's not like it didn't happen, but um, yeah, like they have helped me improve my CSing. Now I can actually farm pretty well. Still practicing a lot. Like I'm still like 90 at like what, maybe 30 minutes now. It's getting better. Not the greatest, but it's getting a lot better. Mobalytics, kind of love it too. Except it just makes everything slow. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah,
that's the only problem. That's the only problem. But after that, yeah, not much. Let's go into those games.
Yep. Before we go into the final games, well, I'll let you pull everything up. You might already have it pulled up.
I already have it up.
Okay, well, I have another screen up, so I'll just go through this real quick. So our final week for the LCS Fantasy is on the screen here. We have me against Trent in the final week. Tyler, Crutonic, going against Butt Stuff. I'm sorry. I can't not say it. It's impolite if I don't say it.
It's kind of, yeah.
And then we got Vicky taking on Fish, so a lot of playoff implications for the bottom tier, the plebs of the standings. A lot to go for this weekend. All of them can make playoffs, so hopefully next week's episode we will be able to maybe sit here comfortably as the four of us makes playoffs. So we got some LCS coming tomorrow. And we're starting off our opening day on Saturday with the Golden Guardians taking on 100 Thieves, followed by FlyQuest and Counter Logic Gaming. Evil Geniuses and TL take center stage on the center of the day. Cloud9 Immortals follow that, and then Dignitas and TSM wrap us up for day one. Vicky, what game are you looking to? What game? Just tell me.
You know what? I'm actually, you know what? Let's just put it out there. I'm actually looking forward to the Evo Genius and Team Liquid game.
I agree.
Not because I'm rooting for Team Liquid, but actually I'm rooting for Evo Geniuses. Lately, they, last week they did step it up. Impact did get back from his downfall, and he has risen again. So I'm really hoping to see a good matchup, some good plays, and
Impact
hopefully
and Whippo, that's gonna be a match.
And hopefully Team Liquid wouldn't lose. That would be my dream.
Well, we will be doing predictions here in a minute, so I think we already have one prediction down.
I think we all know this prediction every time it's against Team Liquid for me.
I actually
except that one time.
Yeah, the one time again, you got the win for it. But I agree with you. Actually, I think EGTL is going to be a phenomenal game. As you were mentioning Impact, Impact taking on Whippo, two very, very stout top laners. Impact has been a top LCS top laner for years. Whippo's been a very, very good top laner when he was in LEC. He's made it to World Finals with Fnatic. Impact's made it to World Finals with SK Telecom. So it's like these are not rookies. These are two guys who have had success, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure what patch we're running on, if we're still running on Hullbreaker patch, because of course with the resistance reduction for ranged champions, maybe it'll kind of open the door for maybe, I don't know, probably more Tryndamirs, and if there's a Tryndamir, you counter it with Graves. So it's hard to tell what the meta is going to be, because we don't know exactly when the next patch is coming for it. So if they both play Hullbreaker champs, it's going to be probably just a fun fest, because they both love to play that way, except for, there's Whippo, who's kind of like, he played Jace with it for a little bit, but then now he's been more Eclipse, lethality, because it's more of his playstyle, where Impact's fine playing the Hullbreakers because he's a weak side player. But it's interesting, and it's not just for there too. You have Vulcan and Danny, a very good bot lane, against Hansama Core, Jojo Pyun versus Bjergsen. You have some talent across the board everywhere. It's going to be hopefully an explosive game. So shall we jump into predictions for day one?
Yes, we shall. But also, I feel like with this whole like we don't know what patches going to be. This does play into a lot to why like our day twos, like our Sundays, we tend to either pop off or not because now that we know what's gonna happen, even though we can't change anything for our bans and our picks, but at least if you did end up picking the correct champ to ban or pick for that week, then you're probably gonna pop off. And that has happened to me a couple of times already where I'm like, thank God I banned that person. Because
yeah, that's how it was with me last week. Like I didn't get a single ban, and I honestly thought that we were going. Oh, I got one ban, but I honestly thought that we were moving to 12-5. Like,
yeah,
I really didn't think that we were going to be anywhere else. So it's kind of been a surprise because I know they used to really keep us in the know for patch notes, but now like on all the websites you look at, it's like patch to be displayed, and it's like, well, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, it doesn't help at all. But I'm actually pretty happy because last week going against Tyler, if I did not ban that Lee Sin for Pride Stalker, he probably would have won. And also with the ban that he picked for me for Biofrost, which was the Tom Kench on that Sunday game, I actually would have probably beat him a little bit harder. I was actually supposed to get 17 points, and I only got 8.6.
we might actually, because let's see, week 1 was played on patch 12.2, and then week 2 and week 3 were played on 12.3. Week 4 and week 5 were played on 12.4. So there's like a pattern forming here. So this, I'm not certain, because it still says to be displayed, but I think this is going to be 12.5 because it looks like it's going to be 2 weeks per patch. So 12.5 had a lot of big changes, but like it's again like it could.
Are we getting some more spinning Trendemir?
Oh god! Oh god! It's gonna be like Trendemir versus Yorick or something. We're gonna get these stupid picks out.
Oh my god. I'm on that bandwagon train for Trendemir.
Oh no. Don't even get me started on that.
TFT and the pros. Let's go.
TFT and the pros. Alright, who do you got for these day 1 predictions?
Alrighty, so let's go. 100 Thieves for the first game. This game was actually pretty interesting to actually decide against. Golden Guardians have been doing very well lately, but I feel like 100 Thieves have started to pick up that mojo again. So I think they're still riding on it. So I think 100 Thieves is going to win that game. I'm going to have to go with FlyQuest against CLG just because CLG needs to get their act together. I don't know what's going on with them, but yeah, FlyQuest has started getting their act together and they will dominate. Evil Genius and Team Liquid, we kind of already know who I'm going for. It's going to be Evil Genius, of course, because yeah.
Oh,
excuse me.
Okay, sorry, I have to scratch it out and put
good.
PG. I thought it was going to be TL.
Good. You can waste that ink. So this one was kind of rough for me because I'm still, I did hop off the Church 9 due to certain issues that was going along with them. I did jump off that congregation for a bit, and I was still looking for a home, but I think I might be going back onto that C9 Church. I'm gonna see if they can accept me again and forgive all my sins of leaving them. So I'm gonna have to choose C9 for this one. They've just been on a roll lately, even though the picks have been I don't know anymore.
Forgive you for your sins.
Forgive me for my sins. That's all I ask for. And so I for sure the Church 9 is going hard for that 7:30 game. Approximately 7:30, which ends up being like 8 o'clock game. And the final game, which is we all know it's going to be Dignitas. TSM has just a lot of internal issues. They need to figure it out. Dignitas, you know what? Dignitas kind of gives me like a little surprise here and there. Like they play so well and then they lose so bad. You just don't know which one you're going to get. They're the team of inconsistency.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I'm not going to lie. Biofrost has been giving me consistent points.
Ah, okay. So now you're throwing the fantasy card in. Okay, I got you. I think for me it's a lot of the same, but a little different. Golden Guardians 100 Thieves, I agree, is going to be a very, very good game. They have really stepped up with the addition of Pride Stalker. I think he's been a wonderful addition to that team. Last year they had Iconic, and he was very inconsistent, where Pride Stalker is very aggressive. If he's behind, he's just going to dive 10 times harder, and if he's very, very risk reward. But I do think 100 Thieves are probably they're one of the better side lane teams in the league. And that's a big way to counter aggression, is to kind of force them to go from being a aggressive dive ball comp to making them match you in the side lanes. For God's sakes, Golden Guardians, please ban Tryndamere for someday.
Don't do it.
He's just going to kill your team. But FlyQuest over CLG, I think Fly is kind of back in the right direction. Evil Genius's team, Liquid. I'm actually thinking about this one because, oh man,
You can always join the train.
Nope.
It's okay.
I'm staying on board. I'm staying TL. I know I'm gonna watch this back next week and go, I could have got it right.
You could have joined the train.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't abandon
You see?
my brothers in arms. But Cloud9's gonna take out Immortals, and I have TSM over Dig. Takeover is taking over that team.
So, pardon my French. You believe they're gonna get their shit together and
maybe
try to get their shit together?
Okay, to beat Dig, yes. To beat anybody else, probably not.
So either they get their shit together, or they still try to get their shit together. Okay, like, there's no other way. Like, I'm gonna laugh next week when they lose, and I'm gonna be like, they didn't get their shit together, honestly.
I know,
like,
I'll be eating humble pie.
I love how you just give them a little bit of hope.
This is World Championship drainage all over again when I went on that major damn one rant. Just to have it fall flat on my face. But, you know, that's not anywhere near this time. So let's go ahead and move to Sunday. We got a banger to open up the day. Team Liquid Cloud9, 2 top of the table teams. They starting it out high. Oh, yeah. And then we get to follow with 100 Thieves FlyQuest. And then we get some TSM versus Evil Geniuses in the middle. And then we stink it up with some Immortals Dignitas. And then we close out the day with a battle for not first place, CLG and Golden Guardians. Any standouts? I'm assuming you're really looking forward to that Immortals Dig game.
Oh, you already know, but on top of that, before all, you know, the Immortals and Dig game and all that stuff, that's pretty hot games down there. But we're going to the flaming ones on top. The Team Liquid and the Cloud9 game. Whew,
oh yeah,
they're telling me my post brunch is going to be fire. They're gonna be like they just started off like they're just like, hey, what's gonna get more viewership? Let's start the first game intense. Like, yeah, why not? People are just
every game by comparison is gonna be like,
dude, everybody's gonna be hopping like from their pajamas to the sofa or wherever they're watching the games from, like immediately, like to watch that, because I'm telling you, like, if we can pull up the viewership numbers for that game, it's gonna be high, and then it's gonna drop.
You know, I've been playing a lot of Lost Ark lately. Whenever the Team Liquid C9 game comes on, I might move that from my secondary monitor to my primary monitor over the game, just so I can watch it.
I'm going portable. We're taking it everywhere.
There you go. I agree. That's so TLC9. I mean, I think we can safely say that that's going to be the banger of the day.
For sure.
No doubt, the most undeniable top 2 teams
Duking it out.
Duking it out, to which probably, more than likely, is going to be the winner of this. Could very well end up being the first seed, because right now they are tied.
Yeah, they are. And if they do tie, technically, if they do win both matches, either both teams win their matches on Saturday, they're still tied.
Yeah.
And then this will be kind of like that tiebreaker. Well, more like, hey, I'm better than you type of thing.
Who won the first matchup? Was that TL? Like, I'm not being like funny about it. I really don't remember. You know what?
Google?
Figure this out. Yeah. It was actually Team Liquid who won that game.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, that was back on February 12th. So actually, it makes it even more spicy, because Cloud9, if they lose this game, then they have to beat TL in record by the end of the year, because if they tie, TL will have the 2-0 tiebreaker and will be instantly the #1 seed. So it's close, but this is definitely going to be a game that's going to go a long way.
It is. It's gonna be I feel like it's gonna be a great game. We're gonna see some. I don't know what we're gonna see. Honestly, we could be seeing some really mischievous picks happening, or we could just see a full-on bloodbath battle.
Are we gonna see some Ivern mid? I don't think we will, but
I don't think so either. But I can see a Malphite mid.
Oh god, no. LS hates Malphite. No. All right, who do you got for the picks on the Sunday?
Okay, for the Sunday team, if Church 9 has forgiven my sins, then we're gonna go for C9.
Ooh, a 2-0 week.
We're gonna go for C9. Whoever the new pastor is, or father, let me in, please.
Max Waldo. Father Max.
Father Max, please forgive my sins and let me enter the church.
He's the new pastor, so he has to see. You left before Max had any games under his belt, so now that you kind of got to see him a little bit, now he should be able to welcome you back.
We were testing the new C9 Bible. That's what we're doing, okay?
The New Testament.
The Max Waldo Testament.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the name of this episode, the Max Waldo Testament.
Okay.
I'm literally typing it down now. This is going to be the title of it.
And for our next game, I'm just gonna get over it now. We're gonna go. Ooh, that was gonna be an intense game too, because both teams have been up and down this spring split roller coaster, and you know what? I'm gonna have to give it to FlyQuest. Okay. I'm gonna go on that FlyQuest train this time. And for the mild to non-spicy games for that Sunday, Evil Geniuses. I just don't think TSM is gonna get their shit together anyways. We're gonna go for that Dignitas, and we are going to go for the Golden Guardian.
Okay. Interesting. So you and I actually have almost the same picks.
Almost.
I'll give you a guess onto what is different.
I knew it. It was the 100 Thieves FlyQuest game. I know it.
You got me. No.
I knew you were on that FlyQuest train.
No. TL over C9. FlyQuest over 100 Thieves. I do think that they're gonna start propelling better. I think their playstyle is gonna show up, and it's going to dominate. Only because I have Johnson on the team. See, everybody else gets a fantasy hopium. I should get some as well. But
and it's funny because I didn't actually bring in my fantasy hopium, because honestly, I have players from both teams, so I'm not even gonna say anything about it.
Let's see. TSMEG. I talked about taking over. he takes over Saturdays. He's not going to take over a Sunday. So, Evil Geniuses. Definitely. And then I have Dignitas and Golden Guardians running out.
Listen here, I'm going to tell you something. Remember, it's Sunday, right? The Max Waldo Testament works fires on Sundays. Miracles happen on Sundays.
The
Okay.
Max Waldo I guarantee you, you go on Reddit if Cloud9 wins. It's good. It's good. There's gonna be Reddit just flooded with church references.
Sunday, Church 9, Max Waldo
Church 9.
Testament.
LOL, TL really thought they were gonna win on Church 9 Sundays. I swear to God.
I'm waiting for it, guys. If you guys are out there, if you want to tag those Reddit posts when that does happen on this video, comment below, and I'll be reading all of them. Yes.
Do it on cHuL1x YouTube, because we actually I haven't plugged this yet. This will be this is the first episode that Tyler hasn't hosted.
Yeah, this is the takeover edition.
Oh, I forgot it's the takeover. Man, we've got so many working titles here. But we got the takeover edition. This will also be the first edition.
The Max Waldo Testament edition.
It'll also be the first episode that gets uploaded to the new YouTube channel, the Riot and Chill Podcast. Link will be in the description below, along with all of our other miles of socials. So, anything to add before we wrap her up?
No. Hopefully Tyler gets a win. And hopefully it's on Sunday. Because then miracles really do happen.
And then plus that'll make episode 10, our first milestone podcast, is a playoff edition with all 4 of us in it.
You see?
LCS.
Miracles can happen.
Hopefully
that's
baby.
Sunday.
Write that script. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but I'm doing something.
Yeah, you keep doing that. Not much. All of the artwork that our podcast gets is from Nate Man Sensei. He is my best friend. He is an artist. I'm just plugging him in right now because he is actually open for commissions. If you guys are looking for new artwork, emotes, and banners and etc. for your channel, hit him up. We will put the links in the description and all that stuff below.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we don't have to listen to this lo-fi anymore, because it's not our favorite thing to listen to.
Yeah, I'm the one recording it, so of course I'm the one hearing the lo-fi. Right
No,
now, so.
I actually did put some lo-fi on my background too, my ears, so I can suffer with you.
You wanted to share the pain. I really appreciate that I'm not the only one here.
I could have been a dick and put some rock music and actually just enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah. Usually it's Tyler that has to deal with the lo-fi, not us. So it's unfortunate we're suffering, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's a small price to pay to take over the podcast this week. But yep, as she said, everybody's socials, everybody's Twitch, everybody's Twitter, and what else? Everybody's YouTubes will be in the description. Also down there as well will be Nate's Sensei, Nate. His both of his Instagrams, the one as I think it's for the digital artwork.
For digital artworks, and then he also has just regular his own style of art.
Oh, okay, yeah. And we'll also link his website down below. Also, there's a Patreon link on his website you can add to if you want to support him. We'd greatly appreciate it. I know he would as well. So that's the episode, guys. We thank you for tuning in. This has been a 1 hour, beat that, Tyler, podcast. And if you guys enjoyed it, leave it a thumbs up, sub to the channel. Everybody's info will be down below. I already said that. I'm trying to think of more things to say. I don't have anything, so we're going to see you next time.